Hey, what's up?
Not much. I was just listening to you on the drive down.
Oh no.
Actually, I was making her listen. Are you excited about this?
I'm something about it.
Last name?
Lance Hepler.
Lance Hepler. H. I know I saw it earlier. There it is.
Thank you, Terry. 54.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You want a stick?
Yes, I do.
Of course.
Congratulations, Chris.
Oh, look at that.
Open it up. Look at the front of that thing.
Nice.
Chris,
Nice.
there's man. Best all-around rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's up, folks? It is race day. I am at Mike Ripley's Mudslinger event. This was the name that his whole promotion company was named after. The race is called Mudslinger. We're down in a little town called Blodgett, Oregon. It is near Corvallis, Oregon, where Oregon State University is. We're like 20 miles away from that. And this race goes through a private forest, so the trails aren't real bedded in, although they've been doing this race for almost 40 years. It has been a long time, so I'm excited to do the race. I've had a very difficult week. My wife had shoulder surgery a couple days ago, and I've been taking care of her and helping her rehab. Those people who've had shoulder surgeries know those first few days are terrible. I did not think I was going to race today because she just needed me. But then yesterday she was feeling pretty good, and this morning she woke up and she's like, Lance, I'm going to be fine. You go do the race. And I said, no, honey, I need to be here for you. She's like, you will be miserable. Go do your race. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I got in the van and drove down here. So I'm here, and we'll see how this goes. I have no preconceived notion of doing well today, to be honest with you. Racing that Cat 1 field is no joke. And I didn't pre-ride, or I didn't do any of my normal pre-routine stuff, and so I'm just gonna kind of lay it out there and see what happens. All right, see how it goes. All right, I'm here with the very busy Mike Ripley.
Not really.
How many years?
I'm not that busy if I'm talking to you.
Thank you. That is very kind.
It's true.
How many years have you been doing this race?
30 for me.
You've
Out
been
of
doing
30.
30.
Yeah, 30.
You've been doing 30 out of 38.
Yeah.
This is the 38th year this race has gone on.
Yeah.
It's always been more or less the same course.
No, it was in Corvallis from 87 to 99.
Okay.
And then it did miss a year in 2000 when the OSU Cycling Club punted on the permits, or OSU said we didn't want you really to come back because we were not happy with mountain bikers. I don't know what the deal was. I had left the area. I moved to Bend.
Right.
You know, by that time, moved to Bend anyway. But no, there was the early years in '87, and you know, we used to have 450 people lining up at PV, beginner on one side, beginner sport, and then pro expert with chalk on 2 split roads at the Arboretum. Wow. And everybody was like tough because the long course was 32 miles and 5,000 feet in the shit. Like we're talking like hardcore.
All of it, yeah.
So, and it's come up to where now it's like you know, we try to make it consumable, but you know.
Yep.
Yeah. One nice day every 7 years.
I know, we finally had the sun out.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think I've ever raced it.
I know, it's funny.
Nasty.
People will tell me all the time, it's hilarious. Well, Mike, I'd come if it's sunny. Liars.
Yeah,
they're just liars. People want to make me feel good.
You have a racer cap limit of what?
300,
300,
but
and
no, in 200, there's like 190. Yeah. We usually get, but whatever. You know,
This should be capped out at 300. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, no, but remember, everything is too easy. Everything is too easy. We have Zwift. We have good coffee. We have consumable drugs. I mean, everything is too simple in life. You know, I
hear
mean,
ya.
suffering is. I mean, there's enough suffering. You know, but this is how you relieve your mental suffering.
That's right.
Right?
Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
appreciate
Lance.
it. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Remember, Lance gets a 5-minute handicap
Yes.
for moving up to Cat 1.
You
So,
heard it here.
as if
so
5
I get
minutes.
5 extra minutes?
5 bonus minutes
5
off
bonus
your time
minutes.
every race. So
All right.
sorry, still the Lance
You
Hepler
heard it
rule.
here.
Still,
Lance
still,
Hepler rule.
Still, always.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, folks? Let's see if I can talk through this. Clearly, Mike Ripley was joking. I did not get an extra 5 minutes, although it wouldn't have made a whole lot of difference in my race today. So here we are with the neutral rollout. We did neutral rollout for about a mile and a half before we restaged again. And at the restaging spot, all the Cat 1s and Elites all went together. And 2 minutes later, all the Cat 2s went. And then a couple minutes later, the rest, like the women's field went. And then, you know, they split it all up. So here's the beginning. It started with a little hill right here to split things up. And then we just kind of rolled it out. I didn't get completely spit out the back right at the beginning like I did at the first race. My legs felt pretty good because I'm pretty well rested, but man, my head is just not in it like it was last year. And it's hard to be as motivated to race as I was last year, knowing that I had like a shot at possibly winning every race I was entering. And that's really motivating. And this year, not so much. Beauty of this, man, we had dry conditions at Mudslinger events, so that's just fantastic. Here I am. This is my teammate right ahead of me, Todd Edwards. We battled most of the year last year, which is fantastic. He beat me a couple times. I beat him a few times. But this year, boy, I think he's just gonna ride away from me most of these races. He did end up beating me by like 4 minutes today, so. He put a little bit of time into me. And I really wasn't climbing that bad, and my legs actually felt pretty good, but man, I just can't quite keep up with this field, and I'm trying to keep my motivation going, and that's just difficult. So this course started with roughly 4.5 miles of double track, like logging road. This is a logging road, and it was mostly it was flat-ish for the first few miles, and then we had like a 4-mile climb. And during that climb, that's when things all kind of spread out. This flat stuff, yeah, I can hang with all these skinny guys on the flat stuff. And I'm a pretty good bike handler. I think I'm a above average bike handler and descender and a below average climber. So how does that work out? Maybe I should switch to enduro. No, I would just kill myself if I did enduro. Anyway, so here we are. This is Anj Stotnik. I think he ended up taking 6th overall. Right here on my right, that's Anj. He's a great dude. There's a little debrief after the race if you want to stick around and see the rest of that stuff. And the rest of these guys, these are all Cat 1, either 50-plus guys or whatnot. And there's Todd Edwards, my teammate. His Strava name is the Camas Phantom. That's a great Strava name. He's from Camas, Washington, and so he's the Phantom. So we just call him the Phantom. Anyway, this climb started, and roughly 4-mile climb. It was mostly rolling, but it gained like 1,300 feet in 4 miles. So that's a lot. There's a couple of single track sections and a couple of short downhill sections like this. This is one of those downhill sections where ripping, doing like 25, 26 miles an hour. And then there was a sharp turn to the right down here. And you can see there's a Team Oregon guy right up ahead of me there. He missed the turn. So I'm yelling at him. He turned around, he caught back up to me, of course, and passed me. We finally get to a couple single track sections. This is a little single track section called Trail of Ferns, I believe. Got a couple little tricky spots, but then as it rolls along here, it takes a hard right, and then there's a there's a section that is 26% steep. It's a 26% climb. I'll catch it on the next way around because I think I turned my camera off because I was so disgusted at how steep it was. But we get into this section. This is called Side Hill. I believe that's what this section's called, Side Hill. And I caught up with a couple of guys, and we were screaming along here, which is great. There's this huge cedar log right here that you had to clear the trail of. And right past the cedar log, there was a very slick spot. It's right through here. The trail was actually really slick, and there was a bit of a gully there, and lots of people crashed right there. If you didn't have your weight just right on your bike, it was easy to get for things to slide out and kind of lose control there. So, and then this is a trail called Route Down, and it is mostly downhill, and it can be a little bit tricky. And I'm following a couple guys that didn't quite descend quite as fast as I. And initially I was like irritated, like, come on, you guys, let me by. But then I'm like, what are you doing, Hepler? These guys are just going to pass me on the uphill. It's really narrow right here. My bars kind of fit through here, and there was lots of roots over the trail in these sections, so it was really easy to fumble. And if you got off your bike, man, it was hard to get going again. And clearly I struggled with getting it going again. And so did Team Oregon guy ahead of me struggled too. But that's all good. You know, you just kind of live and learn and keep going. From there, we cruise down. Again, this is part of Route Down, and it gets really steep in a couple of sections. You can't really tell how steep down this is with a GoPro, but sharp corners and tricky stuff, and lots of like slick roots over the trail, even though it had been dry, and it still makes it tricky to get through these sections. And I was moving I don't know, I felt like pretty fast. I've had faster times through here when I've had clearer traffic through here, which is just fine. But again, the conditions, I don't think I've ever done this race in just shirt sleeves. I've always my dog is sitting next to me and she's having a nightmare. Piper, wake up. Okay, sorry. This is a section called the Panama Canal, and there's two little sections on this. It's a very fun trail, especially when it's dry. And again, I'm kind of ripping along here, so it was good stuff. Usually this race is quite muddy. It's usually quite cold. Today it was like in the 70s and the sun was shining, but you're so kind of deep in the woods that it doesn't ever really dry out in a couple spots. But this is kind of classic Pacific Northwest Willamette Valley mountain bike trails. There's roots and ferns and moss and gorgeous huge trees, and you gotta pick your lines and know how to hop logs and all that stuff. And it was a good time. So the long course that I was doing, we had to do 2 laps of this 10-mile lap, and so I'm just trying to kind of stay attached as long as I can. And we pop out on the trail right here, and then you hit this this gravel descent that I just kind of let my bike run. I think I hit 38 miles an hour on my mountain bike going down this section. And I know that the trail's pretty good, and you can see that I kind of came past this junior that's here on my right, and I'm yelling at these guys because there's a hard left turn. And Team Oregon guy missed it right there. I should know that Team Oregon guy's name, but I don't know what his name is. I'm sorry, Team Oregon. But this is the last little section before the end of lap 1. And so after we finish lap 1, the Cat 2 and Cat 1 racers turn and head up to do one more lap. So I get to do that whole thing over again. One more 10-mile lap. And so that's what we're gonna do, a whole another 10-mile lap. little bit of downhill section, a little bit of flat section where I try to keep things rolling. Again, another 4-mile climb. Okay, so let's see if we can see this section. This is the one called Trail of Ferns, where it turns, and this is the section that is 23%, 24%, 26%, and it's kind of clay based, the mud here, and so usually this is unrideable. You have to jump off your bike and run up this, but this might be the first year that we were able to actually ride that, and I rode it clean both times. I actually wore shoes with spikes on them because I figured I'd have to be running that section, and I didn't have to run it, so fantastic. I did all these trails again, a little bit more, less traffic this time. It kind of spread out a little bit, but I just kind of ripped through the trails and had a good time. I never really felt bad today. I actually felt pretty good. My legs didn't feel bad, but man, I just don't feel fast at the moment, and I don't know how to explain that. So I shouldn't, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. That's racing. You know, sometimes you feel great, sometimes you're ripping, and sometimes you're not.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me by. Here we are. So here we are back in this muddy section again, where people were having trouble. And if you look up here, there's a guy that had just crashed and was trying to gather himself and let me through. And somehow I was able to make it through that section.
Hey, Mini Hogue, I'm coming on you. Very good. Thank you very much. Oh, you are not. You are correct.
So that adorable girl, her name is Phoebe Hogue. If I recall, she's like 9 or 10 years old. I'm actually not sure how old she is. But she's got an older brother, and her parents both race. And when I went by, I couldn't remember her name at the moment. And I said, hey, Minnie Hogue, I'm coming through, so whenever it's safe. And she pulled over for me. And as I went past her, she goes, I'm not small. She's just kind of sticking up for herself. And I'm like, you're right, you're not small. So Phoebe, you're a rock star. Well done. Good job being out there. Super proud of you. And sorry I called you Minnie. I should have said younger Hogue. Their last name's Hogue, but I didn't because race brain, because I'm kind of an idiot. I was just trying to get through there. Anyway, so here is the end of my second lap. I did catch this guy. He was actually a Cat 2 40 plus racer that had actually caught me, and good for him, man. He was moving pretty good. Once you get out in the second lap, instead of turning right like I did last time, we turn left to go a mile back out the gravel road, and then the last half mile is on pavement, and that's what we did. No, I wasn't catching anybody else. That guy wasn't in my division, and nobody else was catching me, so I didn't really have to push it this all that hard, but I had a good time. This race ended up being like 24 miles and 3,500 feet of elevation gain. I did it in like 2 hours and 8 minutes. I think that was my race time. Not great. And this is the finish right here. And I was all stoked to see that I got 8th place in the Cat 1 Men 50 field until I found out there was only 9 people in my race. So I was 8 out of 9. That sucks. Anyway, that just seems to be how this year's gonna go. I shouldn't complain. Mike Ripley, I had the honor of the actual promoter to actually clip my chip off. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for putting on a great race. It's a good time. The rest of this video, I'm going to be breaking down the race with a couple of friends. So if you want to listen to some of my post-race breakdown.
What happened to you?
He came by me at like mile 3, and I was like, Lance is still here. This is nice. I like this game. But no, I think I had the best.
That was Anj. He was 6th overall, and I believe he won his division. Congrats,
We all got
Anj.
popped off that lead group
Yep.
away.
Right.
Because they're like 1,000 watts up that hill, and it's like, not feeling that. And then I like, right just like a half a mile after we started climbing, Myers comes by me.
Yeah.
And he is
Jonathan Myers is 58 years old. He took 3rd
Good job, Michael.
overall today.
As well.
He rocked.
How's the ribs, right?
Yeah.
Are you letting yourself heal?
No.
I mean,
I took 3 days off this week. Is that enough? No.
just enough to make you go full gas for the first like 1 miles, and then be like, that was a mistake.
I was good for an hour. Hey.
Work out there?
You didn't catch me. I freaking win. I won the Lance and Chris race.
That's fine.
I beat Chris by 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that, I gotta say. That looks like a really good 52. You go, what's your name? He goes, Mike. I go, cool, I'm Todd, you know? Like when we're kids.
This is my teammate Todd Edwards, the Camus Phantom.
So
He ended up 6th in our age group.
On the road, he was on my back. Really, he literally apologized. I'm sorry, man. I'm cramping. I'm out of gas. I'm just on your back wheel. And he goes, I'll try to do a pull. And I said, okay. And then he did one pull, and then we came up the road.
You were 6th.
6th?
6th. It was Michael Brown. You beat freaking Michael Brown.
I don't know who that is.
Dude, he won't lose another race this year.
No.
Do you know who Ian Brown is?
Yeah.
That's his father.
No way.
Yes.
I know him. Where is he? Hey, what's up, Dina? So good to see you. Great to see you, dude.
Nice to see you guys, man. Stepped up your game this year.
Yeah.
I think we were forced to.
Well, not by me. I was good. I mean, I get what you guys are dealing with now. I get it.
It was not easy.
You guys deserve to definitely stick around in this category for another couple of years.
We're just pack fodder now. We're just battling each other is what's happening, which is fun, which is still fun and fine.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see you, Clara. Nice job out there. You kind of crushed it, so of course you're a super fast runner. Hey.
Clara stopped racing professionally last year, but she is going to Oregon State University, just a few miles away for a graduate program.
You pulled it out, buddy.
Good job.
Way to go. Yeah, you won. You won by a few minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that first lap just sucked.
Yeah, it's so much, isn't it?
What the hell? Someone said, why don't you just go ahead and tell me that it's entirely climbing?
It's the first 4.5 miles are climbing.
4.5 is nothing. No, it's like 10.
You won by a minute. 1 minute.
It was the guy that I passed at the very end there. Oh, good.
Good job.
Thank you.
In the team competition, Dial took second place behind Team S&M with their 3 fastest long course athletes. Mary won her division. Her son, Evan, took second overall in the race. He's only 17, and there is Kurt, who won the 60 field. Well done, guys. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. I know this was a long one. Appreciate it.